Yo everyone, this is ArtworxLegacy. Hello, how are you all? Be sure to tell me in the comments below. So today's video is going to be a video that I've been putting off for a long time for many reasons, but it's basically a video where I'm going to be talking about more in-depthly my story and my experiences with schizophrenia and how we can make videos to put on YouTube to help with the stigma, breaking the stigma of mental illness. So, as some of you may know, some of you not know, if you're new here, welcome. My name's Danai, ArtworxLegacy. Dana Willis Martinez. I'm 22 years old, just turned 22 recently. And today, I'm going to be making a video where I put on my makeup and I'll explain to you while I'm putting on my makeup my in-depth story about my schizophrenia and the mental illness stigmas that are upon the world of what we can do to stop the stigma from getting any worse and from treating people with mental illness with better situations and better hearts and love and care. So, if some of you may know, I got a new foundation for my makeup, and it's called the L'Oreal Fresh Longwear Foundation, something like that. I'll show it to you. This is it right here. See? And I'm in the color 455. So I have my notes here on my laptop, and basically I started getting my schizophrenia when I was around the age of 16. I was a teenager. Now I'm a full-grown adult, and I'm just getting up my makeup here. I'm using this palette. Yay! CoverGirl Chocoholic palette. And this is not going to be a makeup tutorial. It's just going to be me showing me putting on my makeup while I explain to you all about schizophrenia. So what is schizophrenia? Schizophrenia is basically a mental illness / mental disorder that someone can have where they have delusions of certain things going on. These delusions could be visual, auditory, sensual, with like smell, touch. And as I get up my makeup, I will tell you that it is not a good experience for the most part. It is completely, I want to say, terrifying. And it can be something that for some people may be a better experience than others, may be something more positive, more negative, and based off of the hallucinations that that person experiences. So for me, I've had cutesy voices, and I've had voices that were completely evil and disgusting and out of this world. I want to say awful, like completely awful, like something that will make me cry, make me get angry, make me get hurt my feelings, like bullies in real life. I'm going to pin my bangs out of the way. And I don't know if you guys can tell, but I got a new haircut recently for my birthday when I turned 22. The primer I'm using today is called the Infallible Matte Lock, and it's a good primer. Schizophrenia has been a long battle for me. I'm 22, got around 16 or 17 or so. 16 going on 17. One day, on the last day of school, I remember very clearly going to the bathroom after finishing my English final. And I remember sitting in the bathroom by myself. And I remember feeling, oh my god, what is this feeling? I gotta get like out of here and tell the teacher so I can go to the nurse. And at first I thought it was just all the stress from finals. But it turns out that I guess that's where it all started. I had gotten a sense of pain and dizziness in myself. I remember really going through a lot during that time in the bathroom. I felt like there was something completely wrong with my body, and I didn't know what it was. And then I remember going to the nurse and telling my mom something different, a change in my body. So I just continued on with my summer vacation, and that's where, in summer of 2014, that's where it was hell, when I went to start for my senior year. Starting my summer before my senior year, basically I went to summer school because I had failed an algebra class my junior year for math. I'm an artist. I'm not good at math at all. I am not good with science at all either, but I do enjoy learning about science because I think it's interesting. Okay, everyone, so I'm going to continue this clip. I had some technical difficulties. I don't have that much space on my phone, so I had to rename the clip, put it on my computer, delete it off my phone, clear up space on my phone, and now I'm able to record more clips. And basically, so I was 16 years old at Calvin High School, 2014 summer. I had gotten my schizophrenia. I turned 17 May 7th that year. I tried to go to summer school, and that's when I started hearing the voices, which are auditory hallucinations. And at first it was just one man's voice. So I had originally thought that maybe it was somebody in the vents at our school. And I thought that maybe it was somebody that was working in the vents because there was construction going on, and that's what I heard the voices above me, and I thought it was just someone talking. But then I realized that it was actually voices later on once I got sent to a mental hospital. I basically went to the TMC hospital because my mom thought that I was having a kidney infection because I was hearing things and seeing things and thinking things. Like, I remember thinking in my head, I hear something outside, so I want to go ahead and find whatever I hear out there. And for me, it was a motorcycle outside one of our neighbors in the neighborhood. I had a motorcycle outside, and I had wanted to tell my mom that I feel like that person is following me. And basically, I had kept this a secret for a long time from my friends at school, that I felt like someone was following me, I felt like someone was stalking me, which is a type of paranoia that people with schizophrenia can get. And I remember saying when I went to the hospital, they're like, do you have any thoughts about hurting yourself or others? And I said, yes, I did. I don't know why, but I felt like I wanted to hurt myself, and I wanted to kill my parents. And it was just like a really dark time for me. So as you may know, if you've seen my videos before, that I'm usually a very outgoing, friendly, positive, strong young woman, Christian girl. I believe in God, I pray every day. But to be honest, all that happiness that I have and talents that I have and everything hide a very dark past that I have. And that dark past is basically what I experienced when I was going to those hospitals and when I had gained schizophrenia. So let me think here. I put on primer, concealer, foundation. Now it's time to put on the powder. I'll be using the Physicians Formula powder, my favorite powder to use to set my foundation, and a powder puff sponge. After being in the hospital for one day, they sent me to a mental hospital for kids, pediatric mental hospital. And it was, to be honest, the most difficult time in my whole life. Like, for example, I remember thinking, oh, well, what if that person's following me? What if I hear like the devil speaking to me or something like that? But it was just a place where I will never forget that I went there, because all the kids there that were there were going through a lot of different things, and it was really hard for them and really hard for me. So basically, the next day after the first night that I was at that hospital, my mom and dad, they got me out of there. They pulled me out of there. For children, for one day, my mom and dad pulled me out of there, and immediately the next day I went home. I was afraid that someone in the neighborhood was trying to stalk me, and because of that, my parents were praying for me, my family was praying for me, and they thought it was demons or something, but it turns out that it was actually just at least my schizophrenia, where I was having a mental crisis at home, where I thought that people were following me. And because people with schizophrenia, they get that, where they have a feeling that somebody's after them, whether it's the government, the military, stalkers, you know, things like that. So I did my best to enjoy my summer vacation. Then my senior year started and everything went to hell because it was the hardest year for work, rigorous AP work for my high school year and my senior year at Caroline Fiddles High School. And basically, the homework was hard, the classes were hard, and the voices were getting worse. I started gaining different fears. And I remember telling the school, I was like, hey, well, I think that you should be careful if you see these certain people because they might be stalkers or they might be affecting kids at school. And, you know, I was just scared. So, I remember on September 3rd of 2014, I experienced the worst and most awful set of voices I've ever heard in my life when I was 17. And I remember after that happened and I went to PE class, I couldn't perform in PE class because I was just so in shock and also physically unable to do anything in PE, and I'll tell you in a second because of what happened. So basically, I remember laying in my mom's bed, and I was resting in there because they wanted me to sleep in the same room as them to make sure that I was safe at night and that I was doing okay. I remember for the first time after I heard motorcycle riders in my neighborhood, I remember hearing a man's voice say, "I hate you," loud, over and over and over. He was even saying, "I hate you, I hate you." And he was just repeating these things over and over and over. And it was quite scary because it was my first time experiencing voices like that. And I remember thinking like, "Mom, Dad, do you see anybody? Because I don't see anybody and I hear this and someone is saying that." And then the doctor that I had at that time, they gave me Risperdal, I believe it was. And that actually worsened my voices severely. And it gave me a bunch of like shock, and it was in my system. And I remember taking more than one pill over and over, and it was awful. It was a scary moment in my life. It was, and I think the worst part of it is that he was screaming that over and over and over, and it was so loud in my head. And I remember losing 2 days of sleep. So I remember for 48 hours I was awake and I couldn't get any sleep. Eventually I fell asleep the next day, and it was over the weekend. Coming back to school feeling absolutely awful because it was just an absolutely scary experience, and it was horrendous to hear all of that and not knowing what the heck is going on. And I knew that it was something more than just when I experienced when I was a junior, finishing my junior year in the bathroom, when I thought there was something wrong with my body physically and I couldn't breathe. It was hard for me to think straight. I was getting dizzy, and that's how it all started. I had lost about 20 pounds in only 2 months or so, maybe 1 month, because I wasn't eating since I was so depressed and sad. And I'll make another video about the fact how much Cora, from the legend of Cora, when she also had PTSD in similar situations.